Hi there. This is Kara. I've had a lot of questions, and I decided that sometimes just because one person asked the question, I bet a lot of you have the same one. So the question I got this week was, I ordered the clear mount stamps, but when they arrived, I got a stamp set that looks like this, and I didn't know what that meant. I thought I was getting clear mount. These aren't clear stamps. Exactly. Stampin' Up! Offers two different types of stamps in three different styles. And you'll notice on page 3, yes, I have my papers torn out of my catalog, but on page 3 they sort of tell you what it means, but not really. The red rubber stamp, which is what this is available in two varieties. It's available in a clear mount or a wood mount. Wood mount is the traditional stamp that's on a wooden block with a red rubber stamp on it. Purists love the red rubber stamp, and Stampin' Up! Chooses to put some of the more detailed stamps in the red rubber. They will create the stamps in the material that's best for it. The other option is the Photopolymer stamp set, and that is indeed clear. Both of these, the clear mount and the Photopolymer, work with these clear blocks. You can also choose, if you're getting the clear mount, you can choose it in clear mount or wood, but you're always going to get this red rubber stamp, okay? So you get this and you think, okay, now what do I do with it? This is great, but now what? Okay, they're really pretty super easy to use. You just pop the stamp out. They're kind of, just have a little thingy holding them in different places. You peel this backing off, and then this is what I do. I peel the backing off, and I'm ready to go. And I simply put this on the back of my block, tip it over, and we're going to stamp. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice is when you look at the back of the stamp, you can't really see what it is that you're stamping. I do this because they stick really, really well. They're super easy. And I can tell what this is by just looking at the front and say, oh, this says thanks for joining us. Easy peasy. If, however, you want, you'll also see that this set comes within your stamp set. Some people like to know what it is before they stamp it down. So you're going to look for the thanks for joining us back here, which is this one. You have to read backwards a little bit, and you're going to peel off these backings, not the whole sticker, just the backing. That was one I did before. Just the backing, right? And then you're going to take your stamp and you're going to fit it right down in, make sure you can see it, and it's going to fit exactly. And then when I lift it up, ta-da, it says thanks for joining us, right? And so when I put my block down, I can tell what it's going to say. The problem I have is it doesn't stick as well to this block as I would like it to, and sometimes it comes off. Some people who do this recommend that you take your repositionable adhesive and you apply that to the back just a little bit, and that makes it a little more sticky, and it will stick to your block better. I tend to not use these, which means I don't know what it says from the back, but I can figure that out, and you can just peel these off. I tend to not use them. And again, it's a personal preference. You decide what you like, but I don't use them, and then they just stick to my block without any effort. Okay? That's how that one works. Now, you'll notice that there's a couple of different things on my desk here. I have a great blue glass tile counter. I love it. It's my favorite. It's so pretty, and I chose it because it's pretty. But it makes it a little tough to stamp on because it's not perfectly smooth, and if I stamp on this, I'm going to get kind of a ripple effect. Don't like that. So I have this marble tile that sits on top of it. But you also notice I have this, and I use this for stamping. This is what you're going to need to use if you're using the clear photopolymer stamps. And Stampin' Up! Creates in this design because these often are double layer stamps, so you'll notice that and this one, I have the leaf and then I have the detail of the leaf, and I want to be able to see to line them up. So when you look at the stamp, you can see the difference. Look at this one, and then let's put this one on a block and look. See, this one has a foam backing to it already, so it's going to give me a good solid stamp because I have the little bit of give of the foam backing. The photopolymer doesn't. So in order to get a good stamp with a photopolymer, I use the piercing pad. It duplicates the foam that's on the red one, and I'll get a really good stamp. So let's try both of these and see what they look like. So remember, I'm going to use this with the photopolymer. And let's use black. Some basic black. Now when you're stamping, a couple things you want to remember. You want to hold your block flat. No tipping, no rocking, just a simple, you want to have a good and stuck. No rocking, nothing like that. You want to just tap, maybe a twist, and a tap. And when you pick it up and you look at it, you can tell, did you get a good covering of ink? Notice in here I'm not quite as dark as I am here, so I'm going to do a couple more taps to get a good solid inking, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it down and solid even pressure. No rocking, just solid pressure and straight up, okay? Now, let's try. These are two totally different stamps designed to be used differently, but let's see how this one looks. Again, nice and solid, no wiggling, and I get a nice solid. This is designed to look like that. This goes with the punch, so it's supposed to look like the highlights of a daisy, so it's not supposed to look like this one does. Something I wanted to show you though, what if you get carried away and you kind of rock and you touch on this a little? If I were to use the foam pad with my red rubber stamp and I push and rock good and hard, but look what I get. I don't want that. I wanted that, right? That's because I got ink around the edges. I pushed too hard. Now I didn't get enough, so I need to make sure that I have started out clean. Well, once you've done something like this, the best way to fix it is grab your Stampin' Scrub. My favorite, one of my favorite tools from Stampin' Up. Has a wet and a dry side. You're going to use the Stampin' Mist. This is your stamp cleaner. You're going to do a couple of spritzes over here. And let's show you with this one. Scrub and dry. Now you notice that the stamp looks like there's still some black. That's staining. The photopolymers sometimes stain. Doesn't make me crazy because it just shows it's loved. So not to worry. If it really makes you nuts, let me take one I haven't already used. Here's one, for example. And a way to avoid that is use your Versamark ink to start with. Versamark is a clear ink, and we'll talk about what we do with all of these some other day, but right now you're going to ink up your stamp, and that's going to kind of give it a protective coating, okay? So now it's not going to make it perfect, but it's going to make it a little bit better. So now when I get my black ink on there, and I bring over my piercing pad and I stamp. Nice. Now you can see that my ink has a little bit of stain to it, or my pad, hold on, my stamp has a little bit of stain. So I'm going to clean it. And you can see that because it had the Versamark on it, it kind of protected it, and it looks a little bit better than this one that's been used a bunch of times already, but I've kind of stained it. I didn't Versamark this one to protect it first. It's not a big deal. That stain of the other one is not going to come off on a future project, but if you like to keep your stamps looking a little less stained, then you can use the Versamark first, and that will protect them a little bit. Okay, now we have this one that's kind of got the boo-boos on it. It's not a big deal, didn't hurt it. I'm gonna wash it on the wet side and dry it on the dry side. Good to go again. This one doesn't stain as much. And then let's try our ink again. This time no rocking and a good gentle pressure. Notice I do tap, tap, twist, twist, tap, tap, twist, twist. Gives it a good coat. And then stamp, no rocking, nice solid pressure. Nice clean, rather than that kind of messy looking thing that was too much pressure. And I really can't do it if I've inked it right. If I push down on here too much, I get too much ink. So tap, tap, twist, twist, and you should be good to go. All right. Okay, happy stamping. Watch for another one of these short videos coming. I want to do more and more of these with just a few little tips. Have a great day. Bye-bye.